one positive to the morning rain showers. You got the day off. It's Labor Day. You want to sleep in? Hey, rain showers make it really easy to do that. But as Kate mentioned, severe weather going to be a threat later on today anywhere in this red, and that includes the Kansas City area where we've got a baseball game later today. So going to have to keep an eye on that. Spotty damaging winds, hail, all possible. There's those thunderstorms, plenty of moisture up into northern Missouri, so they're working in on that. These are generally, though, staying below severe limits, and for the time being expected to stay below severe limits. Have some thunderstorms through parts of South Dakota and Nebraska as well. Let's take a peek at the future radar and where this is all heading. Notice these storms back building a bit into parts of Missouri. Eventually, though, by the afternoon, we'll get some dry time, but storms firing into parts of Kansas and Nebraska. So Omaha, Kansas City, you're going to be watching through about 7:30 late evening. They'll eventually start working towards the Des Moines area. So here is the forecast tomorrow. Many of the same areas, Kate, watching for that chance of severe weather. Once again, hail, damaging winds, getting a little closer to the Chicago area tomorrow.
And a lot of folks trying to enjoy the beach this weekend. You know, it's Labor Day. I know, trying to go out, hit the sand, hit the surf, but look at this. This is from Panama City Beach.
For heading to the beach. As Kate said, when you get in the water, it could be a little dangerous. So if you're not a strong swimmer, just go up to hip level. It's going to cool you off. You're going to be fine. Hang out in the pool. But that heat is making it oh so nice to be at the beaches. If you wanted that one last weekend before your kids are back to school and you're staying back at work, you've got the highs more typical in July. So if you booked the Labor Day weekend, boy, did you make out nicely. New York City, your feels like temperatures today into tomorrow. You're staying in the city, going to feel like 90 degrees through this afternoon. Overnight feels like temperatures only into the 70s, so windows stay closed, AC stays running, and tomorrow afternoon feels like temperatures into the mid-90s. Now that could have some effects on some big sporting events because Reagan Medji live in Queens, New York. Heat again going to dominate those headlines at the U.S. Open, but those kids, they've got so much energy. They're going to do just fine. Right, and I think even that squirrel was looking for the AC suites. It's like it's too hot out here. Where are you guys hanging out in the air conditioning? Hey, thanks. We're going to check in with you once again. Talk a little bit more about the heat. Look at these highs, or temperatures, I should say, right now. High 70s for Pittsburgh and D.C. and New York. Boston nearing 80. Same for Burlington, Vermont, and Buffalo. We're saying we're already there. 81 degrees right now. Highs today into the low 90s. Rochester, you're 17 degrees above average. So that's why I'm saying these are highs more typical of what you'd see during the midsummer. Still near 90 in Rochester on Wednesday. Low 90s for Burlington. 89 Boston and New York. That's 10 plus degrees above average. Pittsburgh, 12 degrees above average, Kate. So whew, I'm gonna go get some ice cream.
Okay, yeah, you go get ice cream real quick. But if you live in Boston, you're not allowed to complain about this.
No,
you're not allowed to complain.
Because you're gonna get the cold. It's coming.
Okay, coming up next, we're talking about who's at risk for dangerous storms today.
All the strong winds and the real big damage. Let's talk about the past. Let's have a little bit of a history lesson for this Labor Day. We got to talk about Danny and Erica, the storms of earlier this season. All right, here's Danny off the south of the Cape Verde Islands, and then working off tropical depression, quickly tropical storm. And you remember this thing became a Category 3 hurricane, still well off to the west of the Lesser Antilles. But then as it got closer to the islands, just as quickly as it strengthened, it weakened back down to a tropical depression, then a low. Why? The shear. Shear also got the best of Erica, partly because of its effects or its interaction with the island of Hispaniola. There it is as a tropical storm, working over the islands as a tropical storm, but then Hispaniola, we know the high elevation there really tends to do a number on those systems, as well as the shear before it once again became that low, that remnant low. What we've got right now, we've got El Nino. You've heard all about it. This is one of those strong El Nino years, and El Nino effects on hurricanes, they don't do good things for it in the Atlantic. We've got that extra warm water in the Pacific, and you're saying, well, how does the Pacific affect what's going on in the Atlantic? You kind of get that surface low pressure with that very warm water, so you get that rising air, and that rising air then tends to spread out in higher levels, so we get those westerly winds. They're unfavorable. Those little upper level winds oftentimes can shear these right apart. We talk about Dave Schwartz had a great euphemism as thinking of these tropical systems like a candle. They can handle a little bit of wind, but if you get too much wind, blows it right out. So unfortunately for the storms, not necessarily for us, those upper level winds are destroying a lot of those tropical systems before they can get closer to the islands, Kate, and the U.S. So good news for us. We'll take the rain for those places that need it.
Yeah, we love it. It's a kind of best case scenario for us so far this season, but still a long way to go. So we'll continue to update you on the tropics, and we're going to tell you who is in store for wet weather today. Plus
again this morning. At this point, some of the more moderate rain working up towards Zephyr Hills, Lakeland, all these areas. You've got rain, you've got fog, you've got mist. You know, a really dreary morning out there, unfortunately. If this is your big beach day, you might have a chance from time to time through the afternoon, but good chance of rain out there today. So from south of Naples all the way up to north of Tampa, you notice those storms. We've got an area of low pressure. You can kind of see that there. We put the wind streams on. There's that area of low pressure. Some thunderstorms off the coast of the Big Bend of Florida. So that's where we've got a little bit more action. But there is that low. There's that moist flow out of the Atlantic. So we'll also be watching parts of the southeast for the chance of showers and thunderstorms too. Pop-up afternoon thunderstorms likely across the Carolinas, across especially the southern half of Georgia, and then throughout the Florida peninsula. So I know all of these beaches, this is not what you want to see. It doesn't mean a complete washout. It just means the chance is there. Have that Weather Channel app ready. If you see the skies get dark, common sense. Clear the beach for a few minutes, then go out once the storm passes. Tomorrow, same story. We'll watch for some afternoon thunderstorms. Temperatures in the 80s, mid to upper 80s for many. We're going to go 83 in Atlanta. Charleston, South Carolina. Shopping King Street today, maybe hitting up some of those restaurants. Hit or miss thunderstorms tomorrow, a little better chance. There's so many good restaurants.
What is the restaurant that you recommended one, and I went to it. Crew Cafe. It was so good. Fried cheese.
My stomach is bloating thinking about it in a great way.
I don't know why anybody expected us to talk about anything other than food.
Right?
Today.
Fried cheese is our jam.
Right? Okay, so we do have to talk to someone else today because we have a lot of rain going on in Tampa, adding more than 17 inches of rain since last month. Right up there, counting it up. We've got live with us
now a typhoon, because over into that part of the Pacific. Let's talk about the storms that are active and the ones that we'll be seeing later. Notice we've got this cold front, so out ahead of that, plenty of moisture into parts of Missouri. We've been watching storms there below severe limits for the most part, but still offering up some heavy rain at times through the Kansas City metro area. Lawrence, Kansas, you've got some heavy rain as well. Down into Florida, it's a soggy, foggy kind of morning for a lot of spots right along the west coast. So now generally off towards the east of 75 from Tampa to Sarasota. That's where we've got some of that rain, but notice north of Tampa around Spring Hill still have that light to moderate rainfall with the fog, the mist, the dreary conditions that make it less than perfect. You know, it's approaching 11 o'clock Eastern time. You want to head out to that beach. You want to get out there. You want to slather on the sunscreen. Let's do this. Got to wait a little bit for the sunshine. Notice some storms offshore and also off to the north and east of Everglades City. Tons of lightning, and you're hearing those rumbles of thunder as well. So the kids are unfortunately doing the puzzles, playing the video games, or hopefully watching us, right? All right, over towards the east coast of Florida. Miami, you've got a couple showers in the area, but fairly quiet from Fort Lauderdale up towards Boca Raton and West Palm Beach.
Yeah, the Palm Beach is there. You know, those showers hanging out just there on shore. I bet that's ruining a few plans.
Yeah, that's making it.
Yeah, that's almost
anybody
right
who has
at
a
Palm
beach
Beach,
house right there.
Which would be Donald Trump and all the rich and wealthy.
Oh.
So I'm sorry, Tiger Woods. It's going to rain on your parade today. Okay, coming up, we have an update on the northeast heat wave because that is definitely something we're keeping an eye on. Relief is on the way. We do have some dark and stormy beaches that we're going to be taking a look at. And Alex is just chilling over there. We're back in 60 seconds.